Hi guys. Okay, we're starting our book club. I'm so excited. So I'm like, every time I get online, I'm like, gosh, I do such awkward things sometimes. But I really wanted to get back on here and find a way to still be involved in my Facebook group. Even though I'm not necessarily being a nutritionist at the moment, I still want to find a way to be I don't know, like a person that inspires you to keep chasing your dreams and keep working on the things that you want to do in this life, whether it be like your health and nutrition or your fitness or something completely different. So I feel like as a nutritionist, I have always been very much I don't know, kind of a nutritionist, but also just like a motivational person, and trying to remind you guys to keep going and to know that you're made of so much. And so I've been brainstorming, how can I get back into my Facebook group, and what's a good way for me to do the best I can in trying to be a full-time employee, and of course momming as my number one, and taking care of myself as well, I should be number one too, but whatever that is. Taking care of myself as best as I can while trying to balance all the things. Because I've been working on that, I've been working really hard on my content creation and figuring out how to just have more of a simpler business than what I had in the past, because I need my time. I need my time a little bit more than I used to. Before I became a nutritionist, I was I had all the time in the world, but I don't have that anymore. So I'm trying to figure out how to be there for you as best as I can, in whatever shape or form my life is in. I want to show up for you in a way that I can sustainably. So we're going to be reading the book Girl Wash Your Face, which is one of my favorite books ever. And as I was getting ready to start our book club today, I was like, oh my goodness, I feel like not a lot of you probably even know who Rachel Hollis is. I am a big Rachel Hollis fan, and she has gone through some drama in her career, and people hating on her and people loving her. So loving her or hating on her, and I feel like that's kind of the way it is in life. Especially if you're someone that puts yourself out there to do hard things, do things that you really want to see yourself do and accomplish. She is one of those people that just goes for it, and a lot of times it doesn't fit the opinion, it doesn't match what others expect out of her. And so I read this book when I think it was 2018, honestly, or 2019, which was a while ago, but I was in such a healing era of my life during that time. I mean, a major healing era. And I'm always healing, I feel from different things, but man, during that time, I lived alone in an apartment that I could afford, that wasn't too far from South Lake, because that's where I worked. And during that time, I mean, I spent a lot of time reading, a lot of time just doing a lot of investing in myself. How can I, break these terrible habits I have and things like that. So I had been in a pretty abusive relationship growing up. And so I read lots of books to help me heal that trauma. And as I was making my way kind of out of the trauma cave, I started reading this book. And I loved it so much. And so that's why we're going to be reading it. And I know I'm going on a little long-winded about the introduction here, but you guys skip through. I will put timestamps so that you know when the actual reading begins. But I just wanted to give you a little reason of why I wanted to start this online book club. And even if only one person wants to hear this book, I hope that I get to share it with you, and I'm grateful that you want to listen because it is such a helpful book, and I really want to be able to help you and be a person there for you as you go through your journey in being the best version of you and kind of the dream version of yourself, which is always like my personal goal. Oh, I see Sylvia's here. Hi, Sylvia. I hope you're doing well. Also miss you. Okay, so we're gonna get into the introduction of the book, okay? So this book is 20 chapters long, and we're gonna just start with the introduction today, and tomorrow we'll do chapter 1. But I wanna start with an introduction, especially because my personal introduction is so long. Also, if y'all are wondering what these things are, these are these stickers called Super Patch, and it's supposed to help me with my pain for rheumatoid arthritis, and it actually is really helping. So I'm like, that's so crazy. So I have been in a RA flare-up for the past few weeks, or few days, sorry. And I go to the doctor on Thursday, but it has been so bad I haven't been able to like move my steering wheel to even drive. So it's been a little rough, but the patches, I put them on today and they're actually helping, I think. So, like earlier I couldn't do this with my hand, so it's pretty cool that I'm able to do that now. I was like, honestly, like really of all the days, the day that I'm starting the book club on here. And also the book club, I've wanted a reason to be able to show up for you guys in this group, but I've also been working on my social media on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, which I kind of feel like Instagram and Facebook are the same thing, but I've been really working on broadening my horizons on social media and making like fun like mom content and just like silly things or talking about wellness in general. And so anyway, in the future I will definitely be streaming across platforms, but to do this book club, but I didn't do that today because I was not ready. I was like, this is the first one. Let me just go on my regular Facebook group because y'all are my comfort zone. So let's get started. Okay. So what this book is about the 20 lies that we tell ourselves every day or, throughout life, the 20 lies that we tell ourselves as women. So boys, this could relate to you too though, honestly, but this is more of like a girl's book, but you could definitely find some like good pieces in here for boys. I'll read a few of the lies that we'll go into. So we'll do the introduction, and then chapter 1 is the first lie, the lie, something else will make me happy. Number 2, chapter 2, the lie, I'll start tomorrow. Chapter 3, the lie, I'm not good enough. Chapter 4, the lie, I'm better than you. Chapter 5, the lie, loving him is enough for me. Okay, so those are the first 5 chapters. We'll continue going over the different chapters as we go along, but let me go ahead and just start with the introduction. And like I said, we're going to do the introduction today, and then tomorrow we'll pick it back up for chapter 1. So, okay, so introduction. Here's the cute cover too. Hey girl, hey. This is the big opening letter to my book, the part where I tell you all the things I'm hoping for you as you read it. This is the moment where I outline my intentions, and if you are already game to read on, this is where I fire you up more about what to anticipate. This is also the important letter for someone standing in the bookstore right now trying to decide if she should buy this book or like the life-changing magic of tidying up. And the word she's reading now will decide for her. I mean, that feels like a lot of pressure for one little letter, but here we go. This book is about a bunch of hurtful lies and one important truth. The truth? You and only you are ultimately responsible for who you become and how happy you are. That's the takeaway. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to tell you 100 stories that are funny or weird or embarrassing or sad or crazy, but each of them is reaching for the same pitchy, Pinterest-worthy truth. Your life is up to you. But the truth will never be believable if you don't first understand the lies that get in the way of that. Understanding that you choose your own happiness, that you have control of your life is so important. It's one of those things we grasp with both hands and put on the bulletin board as a reminder. But it's not the only thing you need to understand. You also need to identify and systematically destroy every lie you've told yourself your whole life. Why? Because it's important to go somewhere new, to become something new, without first acknowledging where you are. The self-awareness that comes from truly digging into what you've become to believe about who you are is invaluable. Have you ever believed that you aren't good enough? That you are not thin enough? That you are unlovable? That you are a bad mom? Have you ever believed that you deserve to be treated badly? That you'll never amount to anything? All lies. All lies perpetuated by society, the media, our family of origin, or frankly, and this is my Pentecostal showing, by the devil himself. The lies are dangerous and devastating to our sense of worth and our ability to function. The most sinister thing about them is that we rarely hear them at all. We rarely hear the lies we've created about ourselves because they've been playing so loudly in our ears for so long that they've become white noise. The hateful narrative bombards us every day, yet we don't even realize it's there. Recognizing the lies we've come to accept about ourselves is the key to growing into a better version of ourselves. If we can identify the core of our struggle while simultaneously understanding that we are truly in control of conquering them, then we can utterly change our trajectory. That's why I do what I do. That's why I run a website and talk about how to make a centerpiece or parent with kindness or strengthen a marriage. It's why I researched 30 different ways to clean out your front load washer before I taught my tribe how to do it. It's why I know the perfect ratio of balsamic and citrus to make your pot roast taste amazing. Sure, I cover a whole host of topics using my online platform, but ultimately they boil down to one thing. These are the elements of my life, and I want to do them well. The posts demonstrate how I am growing and learning, and I want them to grow and encourage other women too. I suppose if I'd been into homeschooling or knitting or photography, I would have used those things to try to better myself and boost up my friends, but I'm not into those things. I'm into lifestyle stuff. So I focus on creating content that falls under the banner of lifestyle media. Early on this career, though, I realized that a lot of women look at lifestyle imagery as they should aspire to be. Many of those images are impossible. Another lie foisted upon us. So I set out to be honest from the beginning. I vowed to be authentic and sincere, and for every glorious styled cupcake picture we produced, I share a photo of myself with facial paralysis. If I went somewhere fancy like the Oscars, I balance it with a post about my struggle with weight loss and pictures of me 40 pounds heavier. I've talked about it all: struggle in my marriage, postpartum depression, and feeling jealous, scared, angry, ugly, unworthy, and unloved. I've tried to be totally real about who I am and where I'm coming from. Seriously, the most famous thing I've ever done was to post a picture of stretch marks on my saggy tummy on the internet, and yet I still got the notes. Women from all over the world sending me emails and asking me how I managed to keep it all together while I struggle. I can feel the pain in those emails. I can hear the shame in the words they use to describe their own hardships, and it makes my heart hurt. So I write them back. I tell every single one how beautiful and strong she is. I call them warrior, courageous, fighter. I tell them not to give up. It's what feels appropriate to say to a total stranger, but it's not all I want to say. It's not what I would say if it were my sister who was hurting or my best friend. It's not what I wish I could say to my younger self, because to those closest to me, I am supportive and encouraging, but I absolutely refuse to watch you wallow. The truth is that you are strong and courageous and a fighter. But if I'm telling you that, it's because I want you to see those characteristics in yourself. I want to grab you by the shoulders and shake you until your teeth rattle. I want to get in your face until you have the courage to look me in the eyes and see the answer for yourself. I want to shout out at the top of my lungs until you know this one great truth. You are in control of your life. You get one and only one chance to live, and life is passing you by. Stop beating yourself up, and dang it, stop letting others do it too. Stop accepting less than you deserve. Stop buying things you can't afford to impress people you don't even really like. Stop eating your feelings instead of working through them. Stop buying your kids love with food or toys or friendship because it's easier than parenting. Stop abusing your body and your mind. Stop. Just get off the never-ending track. Your life is supposed to be a journey from one unique place to another. It's not supposed to be a merry-go-round that brings you back to the same spot over and over again. Your life doesn't have to look like mine. Heck, your life doesn't have to look like anyone else's at all, but it should at least be a creation of your own making. Is it going to be hard? Absolutely. But taking the easy way out is how you end up on the sofa, 50 pounds overweight, while life passes you by. Will change happen overnight? No way. This is a lifelong process. You'll try out some different tools and techniques, and while some of them feel okay, maybe one will feel like the answer and 37 different others will feel like garbage. Then you'll wake up tomorrow and do it again, and again, and again, and you'll fail. You'll fall off the wagon. You'll eat half of a birthday cake when no one is watching, or scream at your husband, or drink too much wine all month long. You'll fall into ruts because this is life and that's just how it goes. But once you understand that you are the one who is truly in control, you'll get up and try again. And you'll keep going until being in control feels more natural than being out of control. It'll become a way of life and you'll become the person you are meant to be. It's worth asking right here, right up front, where faith plays a role in all of this. As a Christian, I grew up learning that God was in control, that God had a plan for my life, and I believe in the marrow of my bones that this is true. I believe God loves each of us unconditionally, but I don't think that means we get to squander the gifts and talents He's given us simply because we are good enough already. A caterpillar is awesome, but if the caterpillar stopped there, if she just decided that good is good enough, we would all miss out on the beautiful creature she would become. You are more than you have become. That's what I want to tell the women who write me to ask for advice. It might be tough to hear, but the knowledge is followed by this sweet truth. You are more than you have become, and you are utterly in control over what you do with that knowledge, which led me to an idea. What if I wrote a whole book about all the ways I've struggled and then explained the steps that helped me get past those times? What if I talked about all of my failures and embarrassing moments? What if you knew that my biggest shame is that I sometimes get so angry I scream at my children? Not holler, not yell, not scold them strongly, but scream so loudly it nauseates me to think of it later. What if you hear that I likely have at least 3 cavities in my mouth right now because I am petrified of the dentist? What if I talked about my cellulite, or the weird third boob thing that sits in between my arms and my regular boob when I wear a pink tank top? Did I mention back fat, or the hair that grows out of the mole on my face, or just my insecurities? What if I started a book by telling you that I peed my pants as an adult, as a fully grown human, and it wasn't the first time, nor will it be the last? And what if I told you that even in spite of my confessions, be they funny, embarrassing, painful, or gross, I am at peace with myself, that I love who I am, when I do things that I'm proud of. Wait, just kidding, hold on. Yeah, I'm not proud of. and that it's possible because I know I am ultimately in control of making change. I am in control over the person I will become. By the grace of God, I will wake up tomorrow and have another chance to do this life better. By the grace of God, I've had 35 years of trying so hard in some areas of my life, like the creation of cheese-based casseroles that I am totally crushing it at, and in other areas, like controlling my anxiety. I'm constantly working on different angles to attack the same problem. It's a lifelong journey, but I rest in the knowledge that every day I'm learning and growing, which lets me feel at peace with myself. The things I've struggled with, the lies I've believed about myself for so long. The list is a mile long, so long in fact that I decided to dedicate a chapter to each one. Every single section of this book begins with a lie that I believed, and what follows are the stories of how that particular lie held me back, hurt me, and in some cases caused me to hurt others. But by admitting to these lies, I have taken power away. I'll share with you how I made changes in my life to overcome the struggles, some for good and some as an ever-evolving dance between myself and lifelong securities. What are my insecurities? Well, here are some of my biggest and baddest in no particular order. I hope they'll encourage you. I hope you'll find the ideas helpful. More than anything, I hope you'll rest in the knowledge that you can become whomever and whatever you want to be, my sweet friend. And on the days that seem the hardest, you'll remember by an inch or a mile, forward momentum is the only requirement. Okay, that's the introduction. You guys, I am so pumped about this book because it's been such a long time since I've even read it, but it made such a huge impact on me when I first read it. And just reading this introduction, I'm like, yes. It's such a great book because I feel like it brings women together. It brings people together, and that we all struggle with insecurities, and that we all just want to do our best and sometimes quit at doing our best and then like have to like get back up and be like, okay, I quit there for a minute, but like I'm gonna keep going. You know, it's such a great book for just the highs and lows of life. And which actually brings me to something I wanted to do on here. So I've gone live on my Facebook group for years and years. I mean, I started going live, I feel like in 2018 or 2019 in my nutrition world. And I was thinking about how like, I need to get back on live in my Facebook group, and I just don't know how in the time that I'm in where I'm not even really seeing any nutrition patients at all. Babe, can we get her now, or is it your brother? Okay, sorry, Kevin was texting me. So I'm like, I'm just so excited to read this book with y'all because I feel like it's such a great book for my community of people that are just trying to like figure out how to be, you know, the healthiest version of themselves, a better version than maybe last year, some sort of way, you know, like whatever it is that you're working on. I am such a goal-oriented person and like an achiever. And these type of books have helped me a lot, especially because I struggled a lot for a long time, I feel like, with low self-esteem. And I had to learn how to have self-esteem. And that's something that took a long time to figure out, how to create your own self-esteem. And books like this helped a lot. So I'm so excited about that. And I was saying the reason why I even started going live, I was like, this seems like a great way to like get online and be a part of the world when I'm, you know, building my nutrition practice. But also, little background, I was in theater arts in high school. So I kind of like always love like, I don't know, it's like a performance in a way, but we're just reading a book, but it kind of feels like that. And it just kind of ignites my little creative brain. So thank y'all for joining me, Katie and Sylvia. That means the world to me that y'all are on here. I'm so excited about the book. I think y'all are gonna love it. Tomorrow we'll do chapter 1. I wanted to just start with a simple introduction so that we can kind of get started. And then I want to end the day with something called High Lows, which is something that I did in my theater classes in high school and middle school. And High Lows is basically everyone that is here share your high of the day, like what is something awesome that went down that you love, or something funny, or something that just brightened up your day, and then what was a low, something that was such a bummer. So you guys definitely, if you feel up for it, put it in the comments for me. One thing that went really great and you feel happy about today, your high, and then your low, something that sucks. So for me, I always like to start with my low first and end on a high. So my low is that I could not go into the office today because I could not drive with my hand like this. So that was such a low because I was so ready to go into the office, and Tuesday's a big day in the office, and it makes me nervous if I can't go in like I'm supposed to, even though like the university is so cool and like nice about like people needing to work from home sometimes. But like anyways, I've been in pain, so that's my low. My high of the day is I feel like being on here with y'all. That sounds so cheesy, but that is definitely a high. I was so excited about it, and I'm also like, you know, everything happens for a reason. Maybe I needed to stay home today because we were starting our book club. I don't know. But those are my high lows of the day, and you guys tell me in the comments what are some of your highlights of the day and lowlights of the day, and I will see y'all tomorrow for chapter 1. So, and then let me know anything else in the comments too. And if you're watching the replay, say hi. Okay, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye guys.